the proven true disciple of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Messenger of Allah. Presented by the true followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
You can't even get to one or A without coming through the Hamzah. The Hamzah even comes before the A. It's in the Holy Quran there. When you look up, you see Hamzah before you see any of the rest of the letters. The Hamzah is first. Not saying that that makes me some great man, but I'm just telling you the position of the Hamzah. The Hamzah changes the whole entire meaning. You can make a statement in Arabic, a phrase of something in Arabic, and the Hamzah, when you put the Hamzah there, the whole meaning of all of it changes. So it is a great name. When he gave me the name, he didn't call me in there and say, I'm giving you some greater name or some name that nobody else had. He just called me in one day before all the other ministers. And he said, brother, remind me, I have a name. And he didn't give it to me right away. All the other ministers kept it. What name did he give you? He didn't give it to me yet. After he told me he was going to give it to me, he waited 6 months before he gave it to me then. And one day he called me in and gave me the name Hamzah. I've been studying and learning about that name and about myself for many years. And I'm slowly coming into the knowledge of my own self. And as I come into knowledge of my own self, I also come into knowledge of others. The same thing applies to you. The more you come into the knowledge of yourself, the more you will come into the knowledge of others. There have never been no people that had a teacher and a reformer fine guide and a leader, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He is the greatest leader any people ever had. Don't think he is coming on and failed in his mission, didn't complete his mission. How could you call the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, how could he be called the last and greatest messenger if he didn't complete his mission? If he doesn't do a greater work than all the other prophets did, then how can you call him the last and the greatest? He's not even as great as. If he don't deliver us, he's not even as great as Moses. Moses delivered the Israelites. He's not as great as Noah. Noah saved the people of his day, right? He's not even as great as Lot. Do you understand? He's not even as great as some of the generals that you see around in the devil's army, winning and delivering their people. He is the great Lamb of God. And his work is not over. He hasn't even begun. He's just beginning his real work. And I'm very happy to be a true follower of Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and you should too.
Yes, sir.
And this afternoon I'm going to be speaking on a subject that some of you might not like this subject, especially some of the brothers. But the sisters, I want every sister in here to stop doing whatever you're doing and come and listen to what I have to say here this afternoon, because the subject is the woman's place in Islam. I want every one of the sisters to be in here, as well as all the brothers too. The subject that I have chosen for this afternoon, and it is time for this particular subject to be taught. The woman's place in Islam. The brothers have been so busy using their place in Islam that they haven't realized that the woman also has a place in Islam. Brothers have been so busy after being taught that the original black man is God. They've been so busy trying to be the God that they forgot that they have to become a man first before you become a God.
That's right.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? The question is asked, who is the original man? Right? You can't become a God before you become a man. Some of us want to exercise the authority of being a God, and we haven't even learned what a real man is.
Yes, sir.
It's too bad. I wish every black man here in America could hear this subject that I'm speaking on this afternoon. We'd be a greater people. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
You know, the black man is so-called Negro, when they come into Islam, he's busy wanting to let everybody know, white, I'm the king. But beside the king, there's a queen.
That's right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
What's the queen's position in regard to the king? The queen sits beside the king on the throne. Right?
Yes, sir.
She don't sit in back of him, nor does she sit in front of the king. She sits beside the king. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And she has wears a crown also. It's a little different from the kings because she don't have the same authority that the king has.
Yes, sir.
The king is in authority over the queen, but she still has authority also.
Yes, sir.
So you listen carefully as I speak to you on the woman of Islam. I'm not going to make it a long lecture. I want to make it a short lecture. Make sure everyone digests it properly. The woman in Islam has a much higher and a greater place in Islam than some of the brothers want to give them credit for.
Listen.
Some of the brothers want to strut around in front of the woman, especially your wives and the mother of your children, boasting yourself as being God and looking down on the woman and mistreating her in private and in public.
Listen.
Most times unjustly.
Yes, sir.
Most of the time the black woman submits to your rough handling and mistreatment of her and the abusive language you use towards her, threatening to beat her up physically, threatening to leave her, not as a real man would leave her with a good send-off, but threatening to leave her with nothing and with all the children to take care of by herself. even you free to go out and find another woman to do the same way. Some black men feel proud like a God mistreating a black woman and the mother of your children just because she submits to your evil, unjust ways. If you were a God, you would be classified as an evil God. And the God of evil is the devil. But the God of freedom, justice, and equality is soon going to cast the God of evil into a lake of fire.
Listen.
Do you understand, brothers and sisters? The black man who mistreats his woman unjustly not only is not a God, he is not even a man. He does not know the definition of a man, much less what a God is and how a God acts. The black man who mistreats his woman does not have the knowledge of self or others. When a foolish black man mistreats his woman, he is mistreating himself because the woman is an extension of self.
Yes, right.
When you cut the woman off, brothers, you're cutting yourself off.
Yes, sir.
So any black man who happens to hear this lecture, the next time you go strutting around in front of the black woman, boasting yourself that you are a God and demanding that she bow down to you, even though you are mistreating her, let it come to your foolish mind that if it was not for her, you would not and could not even get here.
That's right.
And without her, you cannot continue on. Get rid of the woman, and that's the end of you, O foolish man, who lacks the knowledge of yourself.
Yes, sir.
You cannot reproduce yourself with another man, even though you both of you call yourself gods. Some of the homosexuals try. They make love with another man. And some of the women are doing the same thing. You cannot reproduce yourself with another man, brothers. Is that clear?
That's right.
If all we have is a bunch of men God strutting around, when they died out, that would be the end of them. They don't have the power to reproduce themselves.
This is right.
Only that first black God had the knowledge to create himself out of nothing. You don't have that kind of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Ever since he came forth, no other God that have come forth since that have had the power to reproduce himself without the woman. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
Prophet Muhammad, 1400 years ago, was a great champion of women's rights. Back in his time, they were mistreating the women so terribly, they were even taking the female girl babies and burying them alive. Think about this, yes. If their first child wasn't a male child, they would feel so dishonored, they would go and bury the child alive. Some of you right now, when you have a child, if it's a girl, you walk around, oh, I had a girl.
Ain't that something?
You have a boy, you feel proud. I had a male child. Half the time, when a wife is so proud, you don't take care of him, no way. You don't raise him up and give him a good education, take care of him. You never put a woman to take care of him. You run away and leave him. That's why he ends up growing up sort of feminine-like, because the woman had to raise your son. When you get the girl, you got your lip all poked out. And without the women, you can't even continue on.
That's right.
That shows you how much you lack knowledge of self. You should be very proud when you can produce a girl. As long as you're producing girls, you know you're going to be around here a long, long time. If all you're producing is boys, you can say, well, I want to be here pretty soon, I won't be around here if I don't start getting some girls in a hurry. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So he had to come in and champion the women's cause and teach the man the knowledge of himself and not to mistreat the woman.
Yes, sir.
But Messenger Elijah Muhammad is a greater champion of women's rights than he was. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad knows more about the original man and the original woman than he did. Why? Because God himself, the divine supreme being, was his teacher. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said we must be very careful how we treat our women.
Yes, sir.
He said the black woman is the one who shapes our nation when it is in the cradle. He said we should always try to put the black woman in a high place and keep her up there.
Yes, sir.
because she is the one who brings us forth. If you put her in a low place, then she brings you forth in a low place. That shows you the black man don't have no knowledge of himself, and he's kicking the black woman around and kicking her down into the mud. He don't have no knowledge of himself, leaving her there by herself with the children raised by herself. That shows you he don't have the knowledge of a God. He don't have the knowledge of a man. He does not realize when you kick her into the mud, you just kick yourself in the mud.
That's right. That's right.
Kick her in the mud, then go make her pregnant in the mud. Then she gives forth to your son. Your son is born in the mud.
Listen.
Not realizing if you put her up on a pedestal, when she gives birth to your son, which is an extension of you, then you're being born on a pedestal. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
The devils know this. That's why they keep their woman in a high place. You understand?
Yes.
She gives birth to their sons in a high place, and they send them to the high grades of schools to get the best of education. And when they come forth, they're the future rulers of this nation.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
When they send them to the finest schools, when they come forth, they're the senators and the governors and the presidents of the United States, right?
That's right.
When this black man comes in other words, take his woman, gets drunk, come and knock her down, beat her up and kick the children around, don't buy them decent clothes to wear, much less get an education for them. You can see why this subject is needed.
Yes, sir.
Not that this is some new subject. I used to teach this subject often before when we had lots of people.
That's right.
We just had a little handful of people, just a little family, and you understand, well, I don't know up in all these various subjects. Don't mean I don't know these subjects. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And though whatever I teach you, I display that before. You don't see me mistreating a sister, do you?
No, sir.
Do you understand? You don't see me mistreating the woman at no time, do you?
No, sir.
Then why would you do this? I don't mistreat no women under my control in my own household, and I don't mistreat none in your household. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ask my son is not here. In fact, my son Wally, he should be here. He needs to hear this lecture here more than most of you sitting out here right now.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to make sure he hears this tape that I'm,
Yes, sir.
when the lecture is over. If nobody else don't hear it, I want him to hear this subject.
Yes, sir.
Go ask him, did he ever hear me curse his mother or fight his mother or say mean evil things to his mother? Sometimes we have to speak stern to one another. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Not in no mean, hateful manner. Speak with justice.
Yes, sir.
When you're speaking with justice and authority, the woman has to listen to that. Not only anybody has to listen, right?
Yes, sir.
You have to listen. If I'm speaking with authority and with justice and with wisdom,
That's right.
do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But me being near and even rolling up my fist at the woman, in other words, you submit to what I ought to knock your block off. Naturally, she submits because she's scared and she's weaker than you.
That's right.
Does that make you a great man when you threaten to beat her up and you're stronger than her physically?
No, sir.
She smiles at you because most of the time she knows that you're a boy.
That's right.
Most of the time she has to take care of you like one of her children. She has 4 children and her husband, she has 5 children.
Listen.
So we should always try to put the black woman in a high place and keep her there. The same black man that you see mistreating the black woman, acting proud like he is a god before her and demanding that she look up to him as a god. When the white man shows up, he is full of fear and trembling.
Listen.
The white man calls him a boy and a black nigger, forced him to spread eagle, lay down on the ground with his face down, with this woman looking on. And they left home, he was acting like he was beating her up and acting so proud. Now the devil's got him down, face down in the ground. He ain't no man now.
Listen.
He no God now. They done face down
Listen.
with his woman looking on. Why does the white man call the black man a boy? He usually gets offended when he calls you a boy. You get offended, right? Because he has the stature of a man, but the mind of a boy. You understand? It's because you square, big and tall and look like you're something powerful. That don't make you a man.
That's right.
You understand? You're not taking care of the business of a man who has the mind of a man. If you have the mind of a boy, then that's why he calls you a boy.
That's right.
You don't hear, boy. Most of He will protect you. Do you understand? The same man that you get mad at as you lay in spread eagle, when you get uptight, you call that same one that has you laying down face first. Please come and help me. Against what? A lion, a tiger, a bear, or a dragon? No. Come and help me against what? Another man.
Listen.
That's something to think about, isn't it?
That's right.
Even an animal don't do that. Even a bear don't call on a man to come. He takes care of his own business, don't he?
That's right.
Even a rat, as little as he is, right? You go messing around his family, he takes care of business. He don't care if it's his last bite or scratch. He takes care of business, protecting his young, doesn't he? The black man does not face up to his own responsibility as a man. Most of the time, the white man has to take care of him and his family. He keeps his family living in cockroach dens, or living in slums, offer relief from the white man, or a whole family all piled up in one or two rooms, while he is gallivanting around chasing other women to find and mistreat, and leave them with a house full of children for some other real man to take care of. And most of the time, the man that has to take care of his children is the white man. So my foolish black brothers, before you demand that your woman look up to you as a God, first let her look up to you and respect you as being a real man. Then she might see the God in you.
That's right.
The God is there, you understand, but you're not, most of the time, not exercising that God. You're not even being a man. But if you start taking care of real business of a man, pretty soon she'll start looking at you and wondering about you.
That's right.
Maybe I've got a God on my hands here.
That's right.
And some of you might.
Teach my message.
When you boastfully say, I am the man of this house, what does that make her? What are you looking at her as when you say, I'm the man of this house? Are you looking at her as the woman of the house who has her place also? Or are you looking at her as nothing in the house in your eyesight when you say, I'm the man of this house? What does that make her? She don't have no place in your eyesight?
Listen.
You understand what I'm saying to you, brothers?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The reason you don't expect a woman to have having no place in the house is because you don't know what your own place in the house is. How could you know what your place is? Probably know what her place is when you don't even know your place. Most of the time, the black woman is fulfilling her place as the woman of the house, taking care of the home, cooking, sewing, cleaning, taking care of the children, picking up behind some nasty, slothful boy who wants to be looked up to as a god. He's not even a real man.
Listen to that.
So the next time you stick your chest out saying you are the man of the house, make sure you know what a man is. And make sure you are fulfilling the duties of the man of the house.
Listen.
In most instances here in North America, the black woman proves she is stronger than the foolish black man. When the going gets a little tough, the weak black man will run off and leave the woman with all of the children. His own children raised by herself, right?
That's right.
This woman who you was acting like you was a god over and you was so tough over it, wanted her to bow down to her. Now you couldn't even take the responsibility. With her there helping you. But you go run out and leave her and she takes care of business by herself. Don't that make her greater than you?
That's right. That's right.
So remember, whenever you run off and leave a woman there by herself and you out there, don't call yourself no man, sisters don't even look up to him as no man. Because that's not no man. A man would not do that. Is that clear?
That's right.
We've got to get the black man to teach him all of himself in a hurry, otherwise he won't go into no advanced civilization.
Yes,
I mean, like Muhammad said, the women, he said, you brothers should be good to them, be proud of them.
yes, sir.
He said, when I asked them to reform, they responded with a happiness, gladness. He said, they contribute more to me for my traveling expenses than all the others combined. Think about this. They're always working hard. In fact, right now, the sisters are the one working. I had to call them out of the kitchen just now, where they've been working day and night. While he's walking all around as a garden house, they were baking and cooking all night long to raise some money to help keep the temple going.
That's right, brother.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Many times what you do to them, in other words, you will put them out to work. Do you understand? Which that's a woman's place. If you need a little extra help, the woman should help the man. But you should not put her out to work. In other words, while you're strutting around somewhere not working real hard also. You put her out to work and then expect her to come in, still take care of the children, still take care of the home, and still take care of you. And you act like I'm the God. That makes her the God of the house.
That's right.
That makes it seem like she's the man of the house instead of you.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying to you, brothers?
Yes, sir.
We must teach our little children this. I don't want the little children to be walking around, strutting around with some attitude like this, to grow up like this.
Yes, sir.
We can't get our nation out of the rut that it is in.
Listen.
Unless we reform them old, indecent, evil, crazy ways that we have.
Yes, sir.
I'm like Muhammad said, that God himself said, I must reform you, that old, indecent way. And make a clean nation out of you, or else I'll be forced to chop you off. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And put someone else in your place who desires to see our nation out of the rut that it's in. And it is in a rut.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The white man's in the rut. Who does he look to get him out of the rut? He looks to himself to get out of the rut, right?
That's right.
You think about this now. When he came here, brought his family here, he had to fight all kind of conditions, didn't he?
That's right.
He had to chop down trees and make himself a house, or else he didn't have no house. He had to go out there and take wild horses and tame them, right? Had to break wild horses, or else he didn't have no transportation to go from one end of the country to the other, right?
Yes, sir.
He traveled in what you call covered wagon. Where did the covered wagon come from? He had to make the wagon, make the wheels that went on the wagon, right?
Yes, sir.
Maintain them,
Yes, sir.
and then drive his family across country and fight Indians on the way.
Listen.
Many times seeing all the members of his family being shot down and killed. He still get up and keep on going.
That's right.
That's why when he calls you a boy, he knows he's tough.
That's
He
right.
says, you say you're the God, well then you start acting like a God then.
That's right, brother.
You're not going to be given no authority of a God until you first start acting like a man.
That's right, brother.
Then the God of gods might give you the authority to be a God
Yes, sir.
and a Lord.
Yes.
So most times, because they want to prove she is stronger than the foolish black man. And that black man leaves when the going gets tough. Over half black children in America are raised by single black women
That's right.
who have been left stranded by foolish black men without the knowledge of self, who refuse to face their own responsibility. If I were to ask how many of you here right now was raised up by your mother and your father left, I'd see many hands going up. How many of you was raised up by your mother and your father left and deserted everything? Even me, I got my hand up. Think over this now. And when you go out into the world, in other words, that is 10 times
That's right.
that much more terrible. So what does the black man in America look like? Even calling himself a man, with the women have to take care of his own children. Take care of his, right? They have to take care of your children. They have to chase you down to face your own responsibility. You hide and duck. The white man's after me. Why is he after you? He wants to make me take care of my children, and I don't want to take care of my children. He's not chasing you down to take care of his children, chasing you down to take care of your own children, and you ducking and hiding.
That's right.
Just hear this great God is now. White man knocking the door. Hey, go answer the door. He hides.
That's right. That's right, brother. That's right.
You know it's the truth.
That's right.
She had to go out there and face the white man and talk him down and run him away from there. Is he gone?
Listen.
And here comes this great, big, bad, early God coming out. You see how foolish we have been, brothers
Yes, sir.
and sisters? So what do you look like? What do we look like in the sight of our woman like this?
That's right.
No wonder she looks up to the white man and worships the white man.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
That's right.
Because we haven't been taken our rightful place.
Yes, sir.
We're going to take it now. We're getting ready to take it now.
Yes, sir.
Or else we're going to be chopped off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you understand? Put someone else in our place if we don't take care of business.
Yes, sir.
They always say, behind every great black man there is a great black woman.
Yes, sir.
And it's the truth.
Right.
So old, foolish white man, you are charged with helping to destroy our nation by mistreating and deserting the black woman, who is the mother of civilization and the producer of our nation. Allah has us charged with that. Muhammad said, when you kill a black man, you kill an individual. But when you destroy the black woman, you destroy the nation.
Yes, sir.
So my beloved brothers, let us take another look at this beautiful black woman who some of you have been mistreating and taking for granted because you lack the knowledge of them and yourself. Now, in case some of you are saying, and I know you are, who does he think he is now? Telling me how to treat my wife and my woman in my house.
Tell him.
And he tells the woman, when she said, well, the minister said something different. I said something different. The minister don't run my house. Neither does Elijah Muhammad. I know he told you that, sisters. This is what the fools used to say in the past when I would teach them like this.
That's right.
This is what the fools are saying now. So when they acted that way, I went back to Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You understand? I told Elijah Muhammad what the arrogant fools were saying. He told me to come back and give you this answer. So listen very carefully. Make sure you understand this
Yes,
answer.
sir.
First of all, yes, you are in charge of that house. But in this house, I'm in charge of this house. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
You understand? I'm in charge of you and the sisters, the brothers and the sisters. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I'm in charge of all the gods you come in, all the lords you come in. I'm the Lord over those lords.
Yes, sir.
I'm the king over all those kings that come in. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
He told me to tell you that. He said also to tell you that the black woman does not belong to you. She belongs to Allah and His messenger.
Yes, sir.
When she is in your possession, you have authority over her as long as you act justly towards her.
Yes, sir.
But she does not belong to you. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And he warns you in these words. Be careful of your duty to Allah and His little lost sheep whom He found. Did you not know that He has you charged for those in whom you have authority?
Listen.
You didn't find the little sheep. You understand? He found you and the wife. So how do you think you have absolute charge over something you didn't even find? They don't belong to you. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
As long as she's in your possession now, He's judging us to see how we treat them, His little sheep. When you have another man's property, you charge for how you act and treat another man's property.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
At the same time, my sisters, all these things that I'm saying about the woman's rights in the place of Islam, they only apply when you are being yourself and fulfilling the place of a Muslim woman in Islam. Now, you have, if your husband is treating you properly, acting right, you must obey your husbands. You must obey those that have authority over you. And the husband does have authority over you.
Yes, sir.
Is that clear? You don't jump up and say, now wait just a minute now, I have the same authority you. No, you don't have the same authority as a man. He's being a man. He has the power and authority to sit you down or even knock you down, although he shouldn't rejoice.
That's
That.
right. That's
When
right.
you have that power. Give you a whipping if you needed one. But you shouldn't be doing that, brothers. You understand? You should handle that with knowledge and wisdom. But some of these women, they need a whipping. I've seen some kind of that. I think they must have, because I've seen men. One day I saw a man beat this woman so unmercifully, I almost got into it my own self. He's beating her so hard up on the second floor. I said, I got to do it. I said, I can't be a man standing and watch this man beat this woman like this, calling every kind of name. And he was beating her so hard, she jumped out a second-story window. And she was so tough when she landed, she got up and went to running. He came downstairs and went over there and took a picket off the fence. I had a picket fence around the house. He took a picket off that fence. He was beating that woman unmercifully. About an hour later, I looked up. Here they go, walking arm in arm down the stairs. And I said, just look at that now. If I would have come and tried to stop her husband, she'd have jumped on me. And he come and told me. He said, well, I got one of these women that these men are whipping. Every once in a while, if I don't give her a whipping, she can't be herself.
They sick.
But I tell you, I don't want a woman like that.
That's right. That's right.
That's too hard on the nervous system. And sometimes when you fight, maybe she might get lucky and win. So it's not too good to be out there fighting like that. And sometimes they do. They get tired of that foolishness. I know it takes it. When they go and you come in, they whip her the next time, they got the gun there. Boom, 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 boom. Or she'll wait. Then you stand, oh, honey, what you done to me? What have you been doing to her? You ought to be afraid. I always thought a black man was a fool. To take a woman and beat her up and stomp her down and call her all kind of nasty names, then go in and lay down and go to sleep. You are a fool.
Listen.
I know a black man that did that over in Youngstown. This got to he beat that woman something terrible. She waited till he got to sleep, and she went in there and got a great big bucket of hot water. I don't know if she had him lying around, and poured it right in his face. He jumped up out of bed, he didn't know where he was. He ran all the way to Mill Creek Park before they could catch him and administer some medicine to him. And she ruined him for life. Scalded him half to death. That's a fool. You're a foolish man. This woman cooking your meals for you every day. You know what she's putting in the food. You beat her up and kick her around. Now you're sitting there eating the food. She, well, honey, are you enjoying your meals? Yes. I bet you won't be enjoying it a few more days from now when I'm putting in this food. I want to worry about you. In a few more days, I want to worry about you. And pretty soon, you keep on mistreated. Pretty soon, now you are. Oh, honey, I don't know. You want all kind of love and consoling, then don't you?
Yes, sir.
You understand? And then she's smiling because she's going to collect the insurance. If you get rid of you, collect the insurance. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Since if you got one of them kind of men that beat you up all the time, take out a real big insurance policy on it. If you have to pay it yourself, make the payments on it. We don't even usually have insurance, but you need some insurance. If you got one, a fool like that, mistreating you like this, that is wrong, brothers. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And some of you tougher sisters, it's wrong for you to be mistreating the brothers. Some of you whip the brother. I know many brothers get a good whipping.
That's right.
Many times I've known this.
That's right.
I know some women can whip 2 or 3 men. One day I saw one whip 2 or 3 men. 2 or 3 policemen come and they go arrest her. She whipped she was throwing policemen around like they were little boys. Picked them up and throwing them down. I see women throw up their arms and say, come on. One day we had one come in the temple like that and Captain Alfonso was kind of scared when he went out there to get her. She pulled up both knees and said, come on now. Hit her nose there like she was a pug. He didn't mess with that woman either. There are some tough women.
Yes, sir.
And so you're not supposed to be acting that way. All these brothers are sort of mistreated you so much they kind of took you through a tough enough process and you are kind of tough. But a woman's supposed to be a little meek, humble. And if you got to see, it's hard for a woman to be her real true self if you mistreat her. But if you treat her good, then she'll be herself. She'll always cover. She's always looking out. She's more interested in looking after your well-being than her own well-being. If you get a woman like that, brothers, take good care of her.
That's right. Right.
Don't mistreat her. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you it's for your own good, because if you continue with this, now you won't be around here much longer. So remember, this is what I'm saying to you now. In order to earn these rights, you have to be yourself. You can't go before the public dressed improperly, half nude, wearing tight-fitting pants and tight dresses, exposing your bosom to the public. You understand? Want other men to see your bosom. You understand? That's going to attract them to you. You're supposed to have your bosom covered. You understand? You're supposed to have your dress down to the proper length where men won't be looking and lusting after your legs. Do you understand? In order to get this respect, you have to respect yourself, sisters. You can't be walking around full of makeup with high-heeled shoes on, tight pants, and switching as you, swaying as you go down the street. You can't be doing this. You can't be walking the streets at night, drinking, smoking, using dope, getting high and drunk, going to nightclubs and bars and parties, and dances with a whole lot of different men, going from arm to arm with men dancing with you. Only a fool takes his home to the dance hall and puts it in the hand. Look at that, you took your woman, this is your private property, you take it and put it in the hands of other men. And them other men might have a better touch than you have. Do you understand? He got your woman there, real close, and mouth to the ear, whispering things in her ears. You're so busy whispering in some other woman's ears, you forget someone whispered in your woman's ears. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Have your women shaking hands with other men. Women, you don't shake hands with their brothers. When the brother reaches out to shake hands with you, I said, well, like, you know, sisters don't shake hands with their brothers.
That's right.
Let the sister go shake hands with your woman, other way they can give them all kind of hand signs.
That's right.
Let her shake hands with another man, he meditate with her. Same place, same place. You understand what I'm saying to you? You should not be doing this. You're supposed to be wiser than this. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
You can't be neglecting your home and your children and your husband and expect to get respect. If you are this kind of a woman, you are setting a terrible example for our children, your children, and our nation.
That's right.
And you should be given a beating if you do not refrain from such. Not only by your husband, but by the authorities of a righteous government who do not tolerate such loose actions by women or men. In some righteous Muslim governments right now, civilization, you're not even allowed to kiss in public in a righteous government. Not even allowed to kiss your own husband or wife, except on special occasions, but not in a lustful manner in public, like we see going on here in America in cars and public parks and beaches and theaters. Go to the theater, just everywhere you look, everybody's hugging. They ain't looking at the movie.
That's right.
You understand? Some of them having sex, performing sex acts right in the movie. One day, they would tell us a story about a theater. He said the usher come rushing in, and he said, there's a man out there looking for his wife. She's here with another man, you understand? He said, now what I'm going to do is, he said, I'm going to turn out the lights. And when I turn the lights, whoever you are, sneak out that side exit door there. He turned out the lights, and 27 couples went out that same door.
Yes, sir.
So we have to get ourselves together in public, don't we?
That's right. Sir.
All of these kind of things must be done in private. All of this boyfriend, girlfriend stuff, I want to say to you young teenagers, this is not allowed in a righteous government. This is not permitted. Is that clear? This only leads to young girls getting pregnant out of wedlock, and half the time not even knowing who the real father is. When the young girls come and ask you, I want a boyfriend. And the boy, I want a girl. What are you going to do with her? What can you do? Now, here you are, you're 12, 13 years. What can you do with this girlfriend? You can't take care of her. Right?
That's right.
You're too young to marry. You can't feed her, can't buy her clothes. What do you want with this girlfriend? Other than to misuse in some kind of sexual manner. You see what I'm saying to you? So if you got daughters, protect your daughters. I don't care if they do get angry. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
We don't allow, in the nation of Islam, in a righteous nation that Allah's setting up, they don't allow no girlfriend, boyfriend stuff to be going on.
Yes, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So don't be pairing off. Here, little baby, that big. That's my boyfriend. That's my. You don't even know what a boyfriend is. Do you understand? They don't know what to do with a boyfriend. Except that sometimes they'll go on television. You shouldn't let the children look at television. That kind of thing on television, I'm saying. You should not allow your children to be looking at men and women kissing and making love on television. You shouldn't allow them to look at such as that. You'd be better off if you got a good book and made them read it or study it. Or go get some type of film that would be more educational to your children.
Yes, sir.
We're destroying our own self when we allow this. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Some of you that have what they call cable, where they bring on all that pornography types of programs. You shouldn't have that in your house if you have children, because when you're gone, they look at those kind of things. Some children wait till their parents go to sleep and they sneak up and get up. We be out at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and they look at all this section. I know you don't want to hear those subjects like this.
Teach on.
Without learning subjects like this, how could you think of it? You sit up there once, I want to go to heaven, which is an advanced civilization. How do you think people act in this advanced civilization? If they acted the same way they act in this civilization, why would God be getting ready to destroy it?
Think over that.
Do you understand? If you're planning on going to another civilization and acting, carrying on the way you are in this one here, there's no need in going no place.
Listen.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
You could never elevate your society and have your society continue your civilization with this kind of going on. This is called a breakdown in society and the morality of the people. Boyfriend and girlfriend stuff is called having fun. But unlike what taught me, he said fun is only for a short duration. Joy lasts forever, but fun is only for a short duration.
Yes, sir.
And the one who always comes up the loser is the young girl who is left pregnant with a baby. And the boy does not usually want the girlfriend or the baby. After that, boy's talking all kinds of talk. Oh, honey, boy, I love you, in other words. Think about this. When she comes up and tells him, now I'm pregnant, he starts to distance himself. Starts acting funny and strange. Do you understand? In some civilizations behind that, they're asking you to lose your life.
That's right.
Do you understand? Cut your head off. In other words, not going to allow you to destroy the whole civilization. This has been going on and we've been raised up in a civilization like that, but we've got to reform ourselves of that. Is that clear, brothers?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got to start out on this side or we don't get to the other side.
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
This is why this is not tolerated in a righteous society. This is not tolerated. In conclusion, I'd like to read to you all something that I'd like to understand this message of God about in this place. The black woman. He said, until we learn to love and protect our women, who will never be a fit or recognized people on the earth. The white people among you will never recognize you until you protect your woman. The brown man will never recognize you until you protect your woman. The yellow man will never recognize you until you protect your woman. The white man will never recognize you until you protect your woman. Do you see what we've been doing by mistreating our women? No society on earth won't accept us. If you take note, all other civilizations on earth fact, you just read of an incident just recently over there in China.
That's right.
Some black students were going over there, right?
That's right.
Think about this now. Now, right away, everyone gets angry. The Chinese come here beating them up and knocking them down and doing all kind of things to them. What were they doing? Protecting their women. We don't want you with our women.
That's right. That's what they did.
Do you understand? They said, if you come in and go among our women, you destroy us. We will no longer be Chinese. We'll be something else. Neither this nor that. Right? Don't that make sense? Do you ever see, we don't have bird sense. You don't see the robin running after the sparrow. You don't see the blue jay running after the red bird. Right? Think about this. You don't see ducks looking for turkeys to make them. I think I'll make a turkey this time.
Listen.
If you make it a turkey, what's he going to produce? He can't produce no duck. He can't produce no turkey.
That's
Right?
Yes, sir.
He ended up with what they call a Negro. Neither this nor that.
Teach y'all.
Something nobody wants.
That's right.
Don't you see how you destroy yourself?
Yes, sir.
The only way to wait a red bird, there wouldn't be no red birds. If the red birds would have been mating with bluebirds, pretty soon there wouldn't be no red birds. And no bluebirds either, right? Every nation on earth protects its women except you and I. We let everybody can have ours.
That's right.
Do you understand? We don't protect them. You and I may go to Harvard. We may go to York or England, or go to Al-Azhar in Cairo, Egypt, and get degrees from all these great seats of learning. But we will never be recognized until we recognize our women. On visiting with a couple of my sons in what they call the Near East in 1959, I began in Turkey. We traveled from Turkey down to Africa, to Ethiopia, and to Sudan. We visited Arabia, Mecca, and Medina. And we visited Pakistan. We returned home from Lahore, Pakistan on about the 6th of January, 1960. We didn't even find on that entire tour such a thing as not recognizing the black woman. Everywhere we said we went, black woman was highly recognized. Everywhere we went, the black man recognized his woman. He had great respect for her. We dined in many of the top, as you say in slang, top holes. We dined with some of the most influential people of these countries, government people. And some of their homes, we never did see any of their family, only men. You don't find no righteous, advanced civilization, a man going out bringing all the daughters and all the women out and introducing the man and shaking hands with all the men. Do you understand? When you go into a Muslim home as a man, you don't see nobody but the men.
Yes, sir.
Why we want to introduce the women and the daughters and all that to you?
Listen.
Do you understand? What I need to bring, I have to bring my wife out there, all my daughters out there, you shake hands and meet and lust after and try to figure out how, let me see how I can get back here. You understand? No, all you see are the men.
Yes, sir.
And you should protect your daughters in that same identical way. Don't go sicking your daughter on to some man. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
You should be protecting her. So he said, when we went into some of their homes, we did not never see any of their family, only the men. The waiter was a man or a boy, not any woman. My beloved brothers in America, you have lost respect for your woman, and therefore you have lost respect for yourself. You won't protect her, therefore you can't protect yourself. She is your first nurse. She is your teacher. Your first lesson comes from your mother. If you don't protect your mother, how do you think you look in the eyes of other fellow human beings? Allah himself has said we cannot return to our own land until we have a thorough knowledge of our own selves. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
This first step is to control and the protection of our women. There is no nation on earth that has less respect for and as little control for their women as the so-called Negro here in America.
That's right.
Even animals and beasts, the fowls of the air, have more love and respect for their females than have the so-called Negroes of America. Our women are allowed to walk or ride the streets all night long with any strange man they desire. They are allowed to frequent any tavern or dance hall they like, whenever they like. They are allowed to fill our homes with children other than our own. Children that are often fathered by the very devil himself. father. Woman don't say, I'm the grandmother of that black baby produced by, you understand? We brag about it. Oh, look at this little white baby guy got here. And a black man, not the father of it. You see what I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters?
Yes, sir.
Then when the devil man decides to marry a black woman, the so-called Negro press and magazine will make it front page news. The daily press will not print the so-called Negro man marrying to their race, but you seem to think it is an honor to your own nation when your daughter goes over to your enemies, the devils. Maybe you pick up the magazine, what's this, Ebony?
Jet.
And the Jet. All the way, they seem to be proud to show some black man with a white woman, right? With a white woman with some black man. They love to show that, don't they? Display that, talk about it. They're bragging, boasting about it. White man don't want to put it no front page and on the cover of his books and magazines. Do you understand? He calls them dishonor and disgrace. In fact, look what they're saying right now. They got what they call these skinheads.
That's right.
They're marching. And you say, I'm mad at them. Why are you mad at them? Because they say we want to keep our white race white. Why don't you march and say the right one and say we want to keep the black race black?
That's right.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You should go shake hands with them and say, please, I want you to get all your people to do that.
That's right.
Keep the white race white. Keep your white man away from my black woman.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
Don't get mad at them. That's the way God wants it. He wants total separation, right?
Yes, sir.
If you get mad at them for not wanting to mix with blacks, then you're mad at God because God don't want whites to mix with blacks.
Listen.
See how you lack the knowledge of understanding?
Yes, sir.
Our women have been and are still being used by the devil white race ever since we were first brought here to these states as slaves. They cannot go out without being winked at, whistled at, yelled at, slapped, patted, kicked, and driven around in the streets by your devil enemies right under your nose. You do nothing about it. No, you don't even protest about it. Look at the white man. I know many white neighborhoods that a black man after sundown, you are not allowed to be walking the streets of that white neighborhood.
That's right.
The white man will come and stop you. What are you doing up here, nigga? What are you doing here? Do you live here? Do you work here? Do you understand? He don't allow you right there looking at his woman, does he?
No, sir.
You see a black man riding around the neighborhood even in a raggedy car. You'll find something wrong with your car and I'll come and pull you over. You can be riding around in his neighborhood in a Cadillac. After a certain time, he'll stop you, pull you over.
That's right.
What are you doing out here? What are you going to do? You sell us some gold? You have to mind, what are you doing out here, nigga? Get back down. If you don't live out here, get back down there where you live. Won't he do you that way?
That's right.
Look at this black man here and the white people walking in your neighborhood. Can you tell me where I can find some nice colored girls?
Ain't that something?
Oh yeah, give me $10. And look what he said. When he don't say, I want to find, tell me where to find the prostitutes. Tell me where to find some nice colored girls. You're going to take him to find him a nice colored girl. You walk up here with them devils. I like to see the devil's neighborhood walk up with them devils and say, tell me where I can find some real nice white girls. you won't even get back home to your black neighborhood.
That's right.
And you know it's the truth I'm speaking to.
That's right.
You see how foolish we have been? You know why you have been worried about nobody else mistreating you? Because you've been too busy mistreating her your own self.
That's right.
What does a black man look like? Call himself a king. Go get 2 or 3 of his money and put her out there for sale. We ain't even black or white. What we need to do is go get everyone and go take our money and do it that way. You want to take him down and chop his head off. Tell him, if you do this again, give him one more. If you don't refrain from this kind of work, I'm going to do it. Then bring him down right in a public place and chop his head off.
That's right.
Bismillah, Rahman Rahim, right over his head. I think you wouldn't have many pimps around after that.
That's right.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And sisters, you should allow yourself to be sold like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Have more pride in yourself than that.
Yes, sir.
Be willing to go out there and do anything rather than to go sell your body, just to any old body. And then have to resort to anything they want to do to you. And most of the time when you're out there, don't think those men are not natural men.
That's
want a natural act from you. No, they want to do all kind of unnatural acts with you and force you to do all kind of unnatural acts, just destroy your soul. And you take both of them. Everyone, they should be shot to allow this to continue. And pretty soon that is on the way.
Yes,
why am I talking to you this strong like this? Because we're facing the judgment day any second.
Yes, sir.
We're in the judgment. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Anything can happen at any second. At least you don't want to be thinking like this. If you haven't got yourself completely out of it, you should be thinking about reforming from such. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
If you're just thinking about saying, that is wrong, I got to stop, refrain from that.
Yes, sir.
Allah will give us credit for that.
Yes, sir.
But if you're sitting up here as I'm speaking these things and you sit up there angry, truth making you mad, do you understand? What does God want with someone like that in his kingdom? You cannot control or protect your woman as long as you are in the white racist false religion called Christianity. This religion gives you no desire or power to resist them. The only way in place to solve this problem is in the religion of Islam. It is a pleasure to Allah to defend us from our enemies. In the religion of Christianity, the white race has had us worshiping and praying to something that actually did not exist. Islam will not only elevate your woman, but will also give you the power to control and protect them. We protect ours against all of their enemies. We protect our farms by pulling up our weeds and grass by the roots, by killing animals and birds, and by poisoning the insects that destroy our crops, in order that we may produce a good crop. How much more valuable are our women, who are our fields, to whom we produce our nation? You even go out there, plant your poppy seed, after you go out there, you put you spray insecticide out there to keep the insects out. You can go put a scarecrow up there, right? Think about this, so the intruder won't come in and destroy the seed. Protect your crop, but your woman, no protection whatsoever. The only scarecrow is you. You're the one that's scaring her all the time. The white race does not want us to destroy their race by intermarrying with them. They will even kill you to protect their race.
That's right.
Can you blame them? No, blame your foolish self for not having enough respect for your own stuff and your own nation to do likewise. Stop our women from trying to look like them by bleaching, powdering, ironing, and coloring their hair, painting their lips, cheeks, and eyebrows, wearing shorts, going half nude in public places, going swimming with them, and lying down on beaches with men. You don't find no advanced civilization. You don't find men and women going to the beach together. How can you protect your woman? Now you go to the beach, take your family to the beach, and the women are all walking around with bikini suits on. Each one trying to show you her nude body. And sister, for you to take your man to the beach, even though you walk around like a four half naked. Look at all them women that have way better shape than you. Look at all them look way better than you, and he's there looking at you. Can't help but lust after him. That's the nature. It's the nature of a man. A real man is not made with the nature to look at a naked woman and not be aroused. He's not a man.
That's right.
If a woman has her clothes on, she's naked, you understand? And a man not paying no attention, he must be aroused by another man. He's not a real man.
That's right.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Oh, animals. Found each other, man going with cows and sheep. One farmer tells of one of his men going with his cows. He wanted to stop it, so he decided he'd go get a woman, see if he would be attracted to the woman. Same way thinking you're homosexual. So he goes to get this woman and said, I want you to go down there and take off your clothes and naked, maybe you would be attracted and leave my cows alone. So he's always standing up in the wheelbarrow going with the cows. So here comes this woman down, come down and took off her clothes. Said, can I help you? Know what she said? He said, yeah, wheel me to the next cow. And that's the way you are. Here comes the woman, you understand, that you should be attracted by, and you tell her, show me where this sweet man is.
Ain't that something?
What do you look like as a man? Think about this, wearing makeup. A man with earrings in his ears. Men with lipstick. A man with long hair down on his shoulders. Think about this. And talking with a high voice. You gotta think over this now. And switch it. If you got children, and you see your children, your boy children, and it's imitating the girls, you say, boy, get that voice lowered down an octave or so there. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you find yourself talking with your voice a little bit too feminine, too high, lower it down. I don't want you to come up to me and ask me, oh, Brother Mickey, can I help you, Brother Mickey? When I look around to see what have I got here? Is this MGT or is this FOI talk? So all of you that got them high voices now, start practicing lowering your voice.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
Speak like a man, act like a man.
Yes,
And I don't want to see you walk around here with no earring on. Whenever you see a man with an earring on, one earring, that's a sign. That's a homosexual sign. You understand?
yes, sir.
A certain handkerchief in there, pop right there, pull it out, wave your little handkerchief. In other words, they got this one earring, give them little signs. See what happened in relation to this one. A whole bunch of homosexuals came in. What did they do now? They hated all the women. Women, the sisters would catch them a hard way to go because they hated women.
That's right.
Do you understand? And any man that came in, if he wasn't sweet, they'd run him out.
That's right.
So as a result, we looked up all the top officials up in the temple, sweet as July jam. That's terrible, isn't it? I used to wonder what was going on. Anytime you try to do anything, they would always be blocking you all the time. Do you understand?
That's right.
I know some of you, in other words, some of you are like one brother, he said he called him undecided. You haven't decided whether you really want to be a man or whether you want to be other than a man. Now you're angry with me. So man, I wish we stopped talking that old talk. I was just beginning to give myself sweet. I just want to stop. That's right. If you see any of the brothers acting all sweet around you, in other words, brother, I want to let me know. Say, brother so-and-so should be sitting over there with the sisters. One day we had some brothers like that. We said, we're going to sit you behind us sitting over there. They were glad. In fact, I had brothers come in and say, well, you know how we sit you like this? I prefer sitting over here. Ask the usher sitting with the sister because I'm a sister. Now, you know that's terrible.
Yes, sir. It's sick, brother.
So we're not going to allow you to come in like that. If you come in like that, we can't reform you. And if we don't get to you in time, we might not be able to reform you.
That's right.
You understand? Sometimes our little children have to watch our little children, how we send them around. Uncles always want to come and get your little boys. Oh, I want to take your little boy. Leave your little boy with me. I'll take care of him. Next time you see your little boy, in other words, you can turn him into some little sissy on him. Be careful when you put your children in the hands of. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I don't care how much affection and love they say they have for him. Oh, let me leave your little boy with me, or leave your little girl with me. I'm going to put your little girl in the hands of no men to be taken out. You understand? Unless you there watching, take your little girls out there, do things to your little children. You never even know it. They don't know how to even explain it to you or tell it to you. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
We found one case there where someone was taking care of a little child there. She said, well, she goes to every time she goes, she sees a little child, someone was training her. A little child, in a little private arts. And she wondered what this was. And she couldn't find out this. A grown man going with a little, having sex with a little tiny baby. Now you know that's something. What kind of man is that? He don't feel like when he be a man. He has to have a little tiny baby to feel like he's a man. He can't feel like a man when he's with a woman. He has to get a little tiny baby. Well, you have to be careful. You're a very foolish person if you put your children in the hands of babysitters that you're not sure of. Is that clear? Don't put your children in the hands of just anybody. And especially uncles, aunts, you understand? And relatives. Those are the ones that end up bringing about all of this. They get little children when they're very, very young. They do this to them. Then once they get old, by the time you find it out, it's too late. Get a little boy, you get a nice little boy, nice little girl. You're a nice little girl, in other words, now she got feminine traits. I mean, masculine traits. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
private pools for your women. If you want to go swimming, guard them from all men. Stop them from going into bars and taverns and sitting and drinking with men and strangers. Stop them from sitting in those places with anyone. Stop them from using unclean language in public in a home. Stop them from smoking and drug addiction habits. Nothing but Islam will make you respectable people. We Muslims are your example, living here in your midst. There is no delinquency in Islam. Are you with us to put our people on top of the world? That's a good question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With us?
Yes, sir.
I want you to realize, in other words, you can just take a group of people like this and start a whole new civilization.
That's right.
But take a whole lot of people. In fact, if we take it the way you understand it, you think the whole world came from just two people, Adam and Eve. In fact, I'll take you back better than that. The whole world came from one. One self-created God.
Yes, sir.
Unlike Mama said, it took him millions and millions of years to create himself. And that one atom of pure hydrogen moved him in the dark. You understand? It took him millions of years to form himself into a man. But after he got here, you understand? After he formed himself with brains, you understand? And knowledge. And he decided, I will have everybody to come have to go through that. So from himself, he made a woman, a mate, right? Now he can reproduce himself. That was took a million years. Now he can do it in 9 months. You understand what I'm saying to you? And it's been that way ever since that first self-created God. So therefore, what I'm saying to you now, brother, we must protect our women.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
That's right, sir.
Speak good to them. Whenever you get ready to speak real evil, you speak evil to them. Let that come into your mind. That she's an extension of self. And without her, you can't continue. You can't reproduce yourself.
Yes,
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So treat them good. And then demand that they treat you the same way. It's such as you get. You got a man to take good care of them, treat them nice. You understand? Take good care of them. But I wanted you to come and make sure you hear all of this, because we got some brothers like strut around thinking the women don't have no knowledge at all. Like to walk around in front of you, act like there's some God, and act like you're nothing. When they start acting like that from their own self, remind them, say, now you want me to be myself, and I'm going to try my best to be myself, but you be yourself also. You understand what I'm saying to you? If you do this, you'll have a much happier life, and if you do this, you'll be qualified and go to the hereafter. Without these qualifications now, brothers and sisters, we're not going to see no hereafter.
That's right.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
You see our Lord is very patient with us. That's what we first come in, we're like a little baby, like a little newborn baby when you come forth. So with a newborn baby, you don't put a lot of laws, rules, and things on a little newborn baby, right? If he's first born, in other words, you change his diaper, right? If he wets on himself, misses on himself 5 times a day, 20 times a day, you change his diaper, right? As he begins to get a little older, and teach you, now you must not do this, now you must go to the pot yourself. You understand? So you don't put a lot of rules and laws on a little newborn baby, but after a little while, then you start putting rules and laws on him. If you do that again, I'm going to spank you. You don't allow him to walk around, but he can wet the bed when he's a little baby, but now when he gets to be 1 year old, 2 years old, he's still, when he can understand reasoning, and he or she is still wet the bed, you start to correct him. I'm going to give you a spanking if you don't stop that. But you don't tell him you want baby that, do you? So likewise, when you first come to this long, we don't put a whole lot of rules and all on the little baby. You understand? But the baby can develop a little bit, and we tighten up the rules and laws. Put rules and laws according to your development. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
Now we don't have much longer to wait. Now we're at the crossroads of a great judgment, a great destruction taking place. And we do want to see the hereafter go.
Yes, sir.
You can just look and realize, you can almost feel that the end is just about here. And the white man is way overdue. Remember now, you're sitting out thinking you have a lot of time. The white man is way overdue. His time's up in 1914.
Yes, sir.
He's been living on grace, right?
Yes, sir.
God, like Muhammad said, all the signs predicting the end of the world, the signs have all been fulfilled except one. The only sign we haven't seen fulfilled this yet is the destruction of the white man and deliverance of God's people.
Yes, sir.
That can come any minute. In other words, what I'm saying to you is that don't be looking for some of the signs. I can wait on some of the signs. The signs have already been fulfilled. So what we should not be sitting here worrying any minute it's coming. Make sure we let us be found worthy. Let us be found at least striving. So these things I'm saying to you now, let us all kind of get ourselves together and try to make ourselves a little bit better. You understand? We know we can't jump up and undo everything we've done wrong overnight. It took overnight, but we can start striving for that. Can't we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can't keep on making mistakes. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So let's be ourselves. What is your own self?
Righteousness.
Righteousness. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thank you for listening. And I don't want to wear you out with this truth, this message. But I want you to understand what's about to take place. Thank you, sir. Well, grandson brought me this announcement up here. We're going to set a good example. I'll set a good example of teaching others and himself. He won't be the great man that he was when he grew up. All the little ones we see sitting out there, they're watching us, getting their example from us, right?
Yes, sir.
And the children like to imitate their parents, don't they?
Yes, sir.
The little girl, whatever she sees her mother do, don't she try to imitate her with that? She sees her mother putting on high heel shoes. She sees a little baby like that, walking around with her mother's high heel shoes on, right? She'll sneak in there and get your lipstick. You lipstick, she'll sneak in and get your lipstick. And you look up, she's got lipstick all over her face. Don't get mad at her, she's trying to be like you.
That's right.
So if you're being good, she's going to make her good. If you're being evil, she's going to try to do the same thing you do. You understand, sisters? In the same way, well, you set a good example. Don't expect your son, you walking around the house full of smoking, drinking. Don't expect your children not to want to do the same thing. They want to be just like their father. Now the little boy wanted, they had a little boy with little waist shirts. I didn't know I wanted to wear a shirt as a man with you know, like man's shirts. You understand? What did my father I wanted to do? My father smoked a Lucky Strike. When he's not looking, I'm smoking me a Lucky Strike. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Go stick around and get his little butts that he leaves. Try to smoke his cigarettes. Want to be just like, only thing I didn't want, my father always was getting drunk and cursed. I didn't want to be like that. I don't like that part. I don't want to be like that. Do you understand? But some children imitate their father and all that. Their father's a roller, a thief, robbing banks. They come up and look up some kind of father and the son in the same penitentiary. The son imitated the father, one who all things. So we see we do have to set a good example. We're charged. We don't, we're charged. The children, that's our future.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Just look what kind of future we have for our people here in America. Why don't we do something in a hurry? Look at all of the young people using crack, using cocaine. And there's nothing they can't do about it. There has to be a judgment. There's nothing they can do about it. Nothing. It's too far gone now. Cases in the year have not already reclaimed your own. You should do so, fill out this little card, and things will be ushered on the way out. I think I'm talking to mostly all Muslims here this afternoon. So I'll be able to talk to you